Welcome back, everyone. It's been a long time since I recorded. It's been, well, for me, it's been over 2 weeks. There was a video that went out, well, today for me recording. And yeah, that video was recorded, though, before I was ill. So that was a long time ago. That was recorded, that must have been 2 weeks ago now. I've been ill for quite a while. Even when I recovered, I did a little test of my recording. And I still had a sore throat, 10 days plus after I got ill. I didn't want to power through it and ruin what we've done so far, because it's been one of those series that I think will be quite useful throughout the entire cycle. So if somebody does discover this in March or April, there'll still be bits of this that'll be still really relevant and hopefully still interesting for some people as well. But yes, that episode was on the release match engine, and it finished 5-2 to Manchester City. But today we're going to play on the new match engine that came out yesterday, 4th of December, which is my birthday. So it came out as a nice present for all of you. I did play a few matches off camera before I got ill, so it would have been on the previous ME. And after this game, I thought, okay, do you know what we've got? We've got Burnley and Crystal Palace coming up. No worries, Jack. 5-2 loss. We'll just bounce back with 2 wins. So we played those 2 games and we won neither of them. Yeah, it wasn't good. We lost this one 2-1 in the 89th minute. That was infuriating, but it wasn't as bad as this one against Palace, where we drew 3-3, another late goal. In fact, it was a late sort of 2 goals. They got a penalty relatively late on. I got ill around this time. I think it might have been my last game here, was this Coventry one, but we didn't play well again, really, but we managed to win 2-0. And after this game, though, against Palace, I was quite angry and annoyed. So that led me into the transfer market to make some signings while I was a bit annoyed. Yeah, I went on to sign another 4 players, basically, for a grand total of, I don't even know how much that is. There's a lot of money there. I felt like I needed a wide player. I was really unimpressed with the wide players and the production I was getting from them, so we signed Justin Kluivert for £20 million. Calvin Phillips finally accepted a realistic contract, so he came in for 2.8. I then brought in a centre-back, which I just felt like the centre-backs weren't playing that well. I wanted somebody that was like a starting level. I just felt like Casper was really... He could really do the going out on loan for a season. We're playing to win trophies and do things our way. We're not here to develop the youngsters. There's going to be multiple saves where we can look at Moneyball saves, looking at stats or developing young players. I want my team to be able to play my style of football. And then I managed to get Andy Jiff, who was a player that I was looking at early in the transfer window, and I couldn't quite get him for a good price. I think they wanted loads of money for him, but I think he got annoyed that he wasn't getting played, so he requested a transfer. So we got him for only £7 million. Trust me, that's a really good deal for Andy Jiff. He's a bit similar to Osterhaig. Is it Osterhaig? Yeah, Osterhaig. They're quite similar. In an ideal scenario, I would not have signed both of them, but I have. I was annoyed. What can I say? I mean, basically, Osterhaig could play left back if we need to. Or maybe Jiff could play left back. I don't think I really sold anybody else from when you were last with me. I might have done Calvert-Lewin and Sebastian Bornau. Yeah, Bornau basically was the one I probably sold off of camera. And yeah, that's your. That is now going to be your squad going into the season. If I go to the matchday squad, and I just show you how it's going to look. Okay, so that is your current first team. If we play the cup final tomorrow, that is the team that I would go with for that match. That is the current first team. The only issue is, I don't feel like we've got much of an option in central areas in terms of attacking players in midfield. Montoro could come on, but I don't know if he's going to be effective enough to replace Baldanzi or Manzambi. But I don't want to drop Baldanzi or Manzambi just because I need somebody more attacking on the bench that I think is going to be more effective. Osterhaig is a really good player. If he comes on in a tight game or if we're ahead, he's brilliant. And if he starts the game. But I don't know if him and Jiff are going to be the right kind of players to come off the bench and make a difference. They might do. I mean, Jiff's really strong, powerful, quick, and good at dribbling. He doesn't really pass and create much. If it's a game against a top side, when trying to get a goal, he might be fine breaking into gaps. But if there are no gaps, we're trying to break a team down. That's where I'm slightly concerned that we've sort of got the best creative players on the pitch, like Kluivert, Baldanzi, and Manzambi. I just feel like that's the best team. But that's the only problem anyway, I would say. We beat Coventry 2-0, we won in the Cup, and they beat Forest 3-1. And I'll quickly go through with you my considerations tactically that I'm thinking. I made one change. I changed from low crosses to whipped crosses. That's the one change I've made to the tactic since you've last seen it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, because we've got attacking mentality, right? There's 2 reasons why I've used attacking so far. The first reason is I want us to be as aggressive as possible, both in terms of how we press, but also how the players make their runs, and that gives me that. And I'm trying to offset that by going much shorter. The problem with that, though, is on attacking mentality. We're going to have a lot of players trying to be very aggressive with the ball. We don't really want to be too transitional. We want to be able to play short and retain and build the attack as well. So I've tried to offset that by going much shorter. But we've also then got high tempo. So I'm thinking one of two things here, and I said this in the last episode, I think, was that I considered keeping the tactic relatively the same here, but just dropping to positive mentality, and that would be fine. Or alternatively, we could keep it on attacking mentality, maybe just drop the tempo a bit, because they're already going to be quite aggressive with the ball. We've got attacking mentality, we've got counter attack, we've got encouraged dribbling, we've got be more expressive. That side of the Bielsa style of football and the style of football that I want my team to play, I'm getting that from those instructions. I don't need the tempo to be high, even though I want my team to play quickly. There's other factors that are going to dictate where the players are going to go with the ball, right? It's not just about, I want to play quick, so let's just go high. It's about balancing the tactic out, right? That's what we need to be careful of. So initially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the mentality. I'm going to drop the tempo to the standard, but keep on attacking mentality, because I want to see as aggressive runs and stuff as we can, and I want us to still be aggressive with the ball in the moments that we need to be. So I'm going to keep it that way for now, but we could drop to positive and then go back to high tempo, but we'll see. I'm going to go tracking winger as well, because I want them to be obviously pressing high, but if we do get pinned really far back, I want them to be able to come and support the defender. I think that'll do for now. That brings us into today's episode. We're going to play against Bode Glimt in the Europa League, and we're going to play Tottenham in the Premier League. So the Europa League, we've not played a game yet. It's our first game in Europe, so that's why I wanted to bring you with me for that game. Premier League game against Spurs. They are currently top of the Premier League. 5 games, no defeat, so it's going to be a tough one for us, but it's going to be a tough one, but we need to try and get some good results early, because we had a really bad start. I was privately hoping for a really positive season where we end up top 4, but maybe just short of the league title. And those 2 games against Palace and Burnley ripped that straight off. But it could be worse. We could be in the relegation zone. So there you are. With the way the format is now, it's going to be almost impossible for us not to qualify. The games just don't really mean as much as it would be in a slightly smaller league table. So I'm just going to rotate the whole team, really. And the other reason is I wanted to show you some of the backup players that we don't really get to see too much in the episodes, or we're not going to see too much in the episodes, because they're not going to get a chance to play in those big matches. But anyway, today's game then, we're going to play our first game in Europe with Leeds United. Let's take a quick look at the opposition report. So the analysts think that they're going to play a 4-3-3 in possession and a 4-1-4-1 out of possession, same formation really, essentially. So that means that we're going to play with a number 10. This works really well, actually, because Calvin Phillips is going to have to play slightly further up in possession, but it means we can put him into something like this. So we're going to force it that way. Going to go 4-2-3-1 against their 4-3-3. Don't forget as well, it is a new match engine. We have not played on this match engine together on camera. It's going to be the first time we're going to see it. I want to be impressed today. We'll say that to the lads. Yep. Watch the cutscenes. Lovely cutscenes here. So in terms of expectations, I mentioned this in the previous episode, but I'd like to win a trophy. So the Europa League is definitely something we could win if we can get through to those latter stages. I didn't look at who's actually in this. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, shouts have returned. We've now got shouts back as well. So I might show you me doing some of the shouts. I tend to do the same things. But also in the latest update, we can now see the match stats while we're in a 3D in the 3D highlight. So that's good to see that we can have that and see exactly how things are going on if we want to while the highlight plays out. And it looks like we might actually have one right here. This could be a highlight. Kanati's going to get it. He's going to go past the defender. He goes straight through on goal. He goes towards goal. He's got a score, and he's got a score. He does this. 1-0 to Leeds United, already in European football. That's 1-0. What a start. I'm not going to lie to you. I am not happy about this lack of possession right now. 63% to them. What is going on, lads? Right, I'm getting annoyed about this. I know we're winning the game, but they've got loads of possession, and I'm not happy about this. Let's watch this a second. So they've got a 3-2. Right, wide players late to go on. Okay. We're a bit passive at left back. They're going to get through. We're going to win it. Right, I was just looking at that. So let's take him off being a tracker, and let's make him a orthodox. Let's go 2 orthodox fullbacks for now. Right, we'll go natural winger here. And let's make the number 10 a striker that's a tracker. So what that means is he's going to help press the back line slightly better, but when they beat the press, he's then going to drop on to the pivot player and then do the job that he's supposed to do. So that might help us with those two little tweaks there. Okay, they've got a hollow here. They cut inside. They're going to release it. We're going to win it there with a set. I don't know what he was doing there, by the way, but the right back has won it. We get into Leif Davis, straight into Dominguez. Dominguez takes a great touch on the outside. He goes on the outside of the fullback. He's going to cut back inside. He's stood him up. He's going to go on the outside. Whips in well, I hope that was a cross and not a shot, but I actually don't know. I was looking at the stats, and I didn't quite see possession-wise. It's not really changed. They're still keeping possession against us. Maybe the way to do it is just for us to keep the ball better ourselves, rather than trying to just stop them. Dominguez goes through, and it's going to be a goal. It's going to be a set piece. It's played short. We go through, and we score, and make it 2-0. I'm just going to do the other solution that we had at the start of the episode, where we're going to drop to positive mentality, but then let's have the tempo still high. Let's just see how that plays. I was just watching their 3-2 build-up shape. They basically are just keeping the ball really easily between the three. So what if you go with two centre forwards, no tracker? Let's go with that and see how that goes. We've now got the tracker who's going to start off on the 2 and then drop. But then we've got the 2 wingers now that are actual wingers. They're not playing as wide midfielders or as trackers, so they're going to be quite aggressive. I'm going to go back to the attacking mentality version, so I want to see if those changes work with what we had originally. So we're just going to go back here. Yeah, you can see the possession slowly dripping away from them now. We're getting slightly more pressure on their 3 and their 2, and they're starting to force passes slightly earlier into the forward line. So that is working as a solution. It wasn't really a change I was looking at to try and help win the game. We were already controlling the game, but they were just having loads of possession. I just wanted to see that, let's say, and that's going to be 3. I just wanted to see that if we were in that same situation against like Barcelona, Real Madrid, and they're 1-0 up, is there a little tweak or two we can do to make sure that we don't just let them control the game and dictate the game from a winning position? They can dictate if they want from a losing position all they want. That's absolutely fine. But so that's 3-0, by the way. Great goal. Okay, so I think this game's pretty much done. I'm just going to skip to the end of the game because nothing else is really happening tactically, and we'll get into the Tottenham game, but that works pretty well. I like what we learned in this game was we found a solution for those 3-2 build-up teams. We're able to initiate more pressure. Look at the possession now. Like, it's 50-50. It was 61-39, I think, at halftime. It was something like that. So there we go. Anyway, see you at the end of the match, and let's see what the scoreline ends up being. The game finished 3-0 anyway, so you didn't miss anything. So we'll go into the game against Tottenham then. We'll see how they're going to set up and play. Let's see how they are with possession. Are they high on that at the moment? Relatively high. They're 3rd. Okay, so let's see how we get on against Tottenham. Okay, so they're going to play 4-2-3-1 in possession and 4-4-2 out of possession. And so that means we don't need to do too much in terms of adjustments. That is going to be your team. It's pretty much the full strength team. I like this. You get a bit of a change, right? You get the backup team playing in Europe, then we're going to get the first team against the team in the Premier League. So we're getting a nice different contrast here. And there's their 4-2-3-1. We'll say nothing to lose in this game, which is true, really. Okay, I'm going to start the game off in full match. I just want to see how they start against us. It didn't look like a quick glance there was anything in. Let me go tactical cam while I'm looking at this. I didn't notice any rotations there for a second. I don't think they had any. Ball into Baranzi. Good runs. Oh, we're in. But is this going to be a chance? This could be an actual highlight. I'm on full match, so I don't know what it's going to be here. We've sort of killed the attack there, unfortunately. Basuma's going to turn, and I thought he was going to get a shot away. Sal's going to get a shot, though. It's going to be saved by the keeper. So are they going to play this side? Going to go long. Okay, that's fine. If that's what we're going to do we win it though? Do we win it? Yeah, we win it. There you go. If that's their response to us pressing high, I'm happy with that. We are going to be very, very successful in this game if they keep doing that every time. Okay, so they're going to play from the back here. They're going to play around the back. They've got like a 5 here. So they've got, hang on, Porro, Udogi. Right, what's happened here? Have they got somebody dropping in? Okay, so I think Smith is a halfback. So they are playing a 3, but it's basically like a 5-1 is how that they basically got it set up. I've not seen this before. I've not come across this in this A before where they're playing that sort of shape. So they've got like a bit of a 5-1-4 type of shape. I guess technically it could be classed as a 3-3-4 because the wingback should be higher and wide, but in that moment they look like a 5. But they've got one player in the centre of the pitch. They've got their number 10 in striker and the wingers are relatively narrow. So do you drop off the wingers? Okay, so that is a natural. I've done it quickly there. So that is like a more natural 4-3-3 versus 4-2-3-1 matchup, like shape for shape. So we've got somebody's responsible for a player everywhere, right? So what they're doing is they're dropping him in to there, and they're creating this sort of shape where they have like that. So they end up with like 2 players sort of centrally but higher up when they're building from the back, but then they get like a 3 here, and they do really, like keep the ball, it does look like a 3-1. And he gets sort of drawn back a bit by this. So they really are dictating this area, but then they're not really progressing it anywhere. But they end up like that, really high and wide. So what I would do here is we'll go trap inside. We'll change it to trap inside. We'll get the wide players on the outside of them, trap it, force them in here. Especially, do you know what? Especially if they try to stay outside us, like that. We'll do that. We'll track their fullbacks back, and then because they're essentially playing like this, and these two are going up high, so we've got a back four and a pivot player against all of this. So it's technically 5 versus 4 in our favour. So I think back to our philosophy, we've got a +1. That leaves me this guy spare. So that would tell me that he just goes in the defensive line. He just goes and beats a striker out of possession. So you end up with like an offset 4-4-2 is what it would be, because he's going to be a single DM centrally to protect the two centre backs, because they're going to end up like that. So he needs to be central. He has to be, but he needs to be offset to take up their single midfielder. Like really, what I would do here, and I've not done it yet in this series, but we might do it today. There's only one player that needs to man mark, and it's him on him. And as long as he's covering him wherever he goes, I don't care where he goes, they should be in trouble trying to get through us here, I would expect. I mean, well, we'll see. We'll find out. We'll find out together what happens, but they should be in trouble. Where is Smith playing for them? He's playing on the left, so he's dropping. So Bentancur is on the right. So yeah, my left central field player needs to man mark. Well, I don't know whether to go 2 wide midfielders or 2 tracking wingers, because we want them to press high. I don't know which way to go with this. I might do this, and then we're going to go out of possession. We're going to go trap inside, and then that leaves me with Baldanzi. He can be a pressing centre mid, but I just think this area is really vacant. I might do that. No, because he's not going to drop onto anybody. Fuck that. We'll just go with that. And then Baldanzi is going to be, for the first time, we're going to specifically man mark somebody here. Bentancur. Yeah, okay. And mark him tightly. We're going to build the attack here with Basuma. He's going to get it in a bit of space. He plays into Manzambi, who's going to play an outside of the foot pass out to Justin Cliver, who's got time and space. He's going to go on the outside of the defender. He's going to cut inside. He's going to give it away. Manzambi's going to get there, though. He's going to get a shot away. Oh, it's just over. But let's get to watch. We now get to watch the goal kick. And let's see how they go about this. So the goal kick's going to be slightly different. It's more once they play out, isn't it? That's where we want to see how things all play out. But I mean, that is an aggressive press. And unfortunately, the danger with having him as a tracking winger is that. So I might have to do this. That might still be fine. It just looks a bit more, it just looks a bit more lopsided and not as symmetrical defensively, having them offset like that. Yeah, look at Smith in the defensive line here. Yeah, he's definitely playing as the left-sided centre-back. Okay, apparently we're going to play long because we can't play out against a 2-man press, so that's not great. Guiu's going to go up for it. He wins the flick on, though, Baldanzi. It's a bit of a change in style for us here. Baldanzi's going to get it and play it to Guiu. Plays it into Cliver. He's through. He's got a score. Surely, he's gone wide. Plays it across. It's deflected. It's at the post. It's going to be a corner for Tottenham. Whipped in towards the near post. Headed towards... Oh, come on. Oh, I'm getting fed up with these bloody set-piece goals. 1-0. Okay, so their 2 strikers are really pressing us, so we can't really get out. So I'm going to make Sousa a deep line playmaker just from the start. I might move Henrique to being then an inside fullback, so we can shift it across to being a genuine 3 once they play out. We ended the half alright. Like, if you look at the XG here, we had like 0.1 XG for quite a long time in the game. So we had like 3 or 4 shots right towards the end after basically that last change to Sousa. So we're just going to say, show me something else in the second half. And I'll make some subs probably quite early. Clivert's on a 6.2. Sousa's looking a bit tired. So those 2 are going to be candidates to be taken off. Okay, I've made all my 5 subs already. Strand Larson, Dominguez, Canate, Davis, and Baku are all on for the positions you'd expect them to be on for. Goes up to Canate on the right-hand side. He's going to take a touch. He's going to go on the outside. Tottenham haven't created anything, by the way. I don't think they've even had maybe 1 shot in the second half. That's it. Larson, far post headed, and he's going to score. It's going to be 1-1. It's going to be VAR, is it? The referee's going to VAR. That's got to be a goal. There's no dangers there. What a goal, lads. 1-1. It's really nice to see 2 of your subs link up to get a goal whenever that happens. Canate gets it on the edge of the area, and you just see Larson hang at the far post. There's a great bit of play from Konate to cross the ball into the far post, and then Larson just gets up easily, unmarked, headed towards goal, 1-1. Oh, there's another late highlight. It's a free kick. It could be for either team. I've got everybody up on this set piece, by the way. That's my 3 put this back players. This could be for either team. They could hit us on the counter as well. Who's got this? Konate. He should be able to protect the ball here. He shouldn't really be losing that, and he doesn't. Goes past the player. Release it. Basuma shifts it. Shoots on goal, and it's going to be just over the bar. Yeah, no more highlights. It's going to be a draw, considering they're top of the league, and the adjustment we had to make. I'm quite happy with that, because we made a big adjustment to the tactic, and it worked really well. I think they created probably... They created a tiny bit less in the second half. They created a little bit less in the second half when we made that adjustment. We then created almost all of our XG after that defensive adjustment and the in possession one. It shows that change did work. It was reflected in the stats of the game, the momentum of the game, the highlights, the goals, every metric you want to use. We showed improvement after we made that little adjustment to Tottenham there. But that was good. I'm actually quite happy with that. I'm just looking at it. 3-2-5. What? I have not seen a team use this formation before. They are going to play the Pep formation against us, but they're also going to defend in it as well. So they're going to play 3-2-4-1, but they're going to defend in a... Oh, that's interesting, that. I haven't come across that before, but unfortunately that's going to be off camera, that game. If anything interesting happens, though, I'll show you in the clips for the next episode. But yeah, there you go. It just caught my eye, that did, as I was about to wrap up the video. If we do get past Liverpool, we'll come back for the quarterfinal and one of the league matches nearby to that. That's going to be the next episode. So that'll be somewhere in November. It'll be like the quarterfinal and, and a league match. We've got too many similar players now in midfield with like Bissouma, Osterhaig, and then also Juff. All 3 of those are very, very similar in profile of players. So we probably do need like more of a genuine 10. We're going to have to get a 10 in. And Bissouma's the most likely player to have to leave because we've got 2 pivot players here. Yeah, Bissouma would have to go. Bissouma's a good player, though. I'm going to keep him for now, and I'm going to play him in the Premier League. In Europe, though, I'm going to use Martel, and I'm going to try and use Martel whenever I can because I want him to really be the pivot player. But Bissouma, in this early period where we were losing matches that we shouldn't be, I just put Bissouma back in because I trust him. He's really good in the system. He's got 17 tackling. He's got positioning. You know, he's really good, and he's very mobile and athletic. There we are. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series. I'm going to definitely complete this second season, and then once the second season is completed, I'll then see other videos doing the reaction. If people are still interested, we'll continue. If not, I'll probably look to do a different series. Either it'll be tactical again. It could be a tactical recreation series. It could be a Moneyball series. I don't know yet. I don't know what one to do. It could be a youth-only save where we have to do the same tactical stuff because we are only using the same players. We've got to find tactical solutions to get the best things out of the players, and doing like a youth-only save is an option as well. All these things are up for grabs. Do let me know if you've got any thoughts, whether it's this video or in a future one. But thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series, and I'll see you all in the next episode where hopefully we're playing in the League Cup quarterfinal.